we're able to be on your platform, and hopefully more people can follow Fitterman Sports, on all social media aspects, and hopefully, we can see some of your fans and listeners
Yeah.
at our events all over the country. We plan on having an extremely busy 2025, so we're super grateful for the people that have supported us the past 17 years, and we're excited to meet new fans in 2025. So, again, shout out to you for having us on your show, and it's a privilege to be on your platform and speaking to your audience, and hopefully, people who didn't know who we were prior to this, maybe they'll look into attending a Fitterman sports event in the future.
Yeah. So speaking of, when are you guys coming to Florida? Because I'm here in Florida till I think next Thursday, and then I have to go back to Jersey, and then I'm coming back to Florida on the 31st for the Pro Bowl. But when are you guys coming to Florida for
Yeah,
your?
so we were actually in Tampa 2 days ago doing some private events with clients. We have, for anybody who's listening in Florida, we have meet and greets with, let's see the date really quick. So January 24th, we will have Ric Flair doing
Mhm.
a meet and greet, I believe, at the big mall in Tampa, maybe International Plaza, I think it's
Oh,
called.
oh wow.
That's January 24th in Tampa. January 25th, we'll have Mike Tyson at uh, our friend's store in Wellington, Florida, which is near Palm Beach.
Mhm.
So, and then we're back in Tampa with Tyson on January 26th. So, if any of your fans or yourself are in Florida and want to come to those events, we'll be at Palm Beach Autographs retail locations in a couple weeks. So, hopefully, we can see you guys there.
Yeah. Do you have time for more fan questions, real quick?
Yeah, of course. If the fans are there asking questions, we're not going to leave them hanging.
Okay. So one of our fans, his name is Tim from Florida. Again, another Floridian. He wants to know your favorite food and drink.
My favorite food, I would say, would be Mexican food.
Oh,
So we're in Houston, so you can't go wrong, with some authentic, fajitas for dinner. I like grilling myself, so fajitas and Mexican food would have to be my favorite. Um, and I'll leave it at that.
okay. Another question. One of our friends from Philadelphia. One of our fans. He wants to know, uh, who is the toughest client they had to you had to work with.
Fortunately, my roster of guys is actually just like a great group of guys to work with. They're all class acts. They all kind of understand, that the partnership between us has to work both ways in order for it to be successful, ideally for a very long time. Um, we've had a couple people in the past. I'm not going to throw them under the bus here on the show, but obviously dealing with, superstars from any sport, part of our job is to juggle and manage different personalities. So that challenge definitely does come up with different egos and personalities and stars that we work with. There's been a few in the past that weren't necessarily enjoyable to work with, and we just respectfully decided to part ways with them. But the client of guys that I have right now, even athletes that we work with that are non-exclusive to Fitterman Sports, we have a great group of guys. So, things do come up and you have to adapt to different personalities and different mood swings and different egos here and there. But, I've been doing this, 20 plus years in and around pro sports. So I like to think I can, adapt to the different unique situations that occur and overcome any obstacles thrown in front of us. But and at times it is challenging. But I wouldn't change it for the world. And if someone is not enjoyable to work with, then we'll just try to get through the event and then respectfully go our separate ways after. But I'm definitely not going to put anybody on blast and throw them under the bus. That's just not what I want to do.
Yeah, so that fan who asked that question from Philly, his name is Dan. Another question we have is from Tiffany, our a friend and fan from New Jersey, another New Jerseyan. She wants to know, for you, if you were not in this business, what would you be doing now?
I dabble in real estate a little bit. Again, I still like the hustle and the chase of a good deal. But as silly as it sounds, I believe I was born for this, right? Like I was born to kind of be an agent and be involved in sports,
Yeah.
and I've been in and around sports my entire life. So this is definitely my calling, and I don't take it for granted because every day is a new adventure. And like I said, to one of my friends this weekend when we were doing something in Florida, um, you know, some of the things that we get to do are like dream come true for some people. And we're able to do this like almost every single weekend. So I never take that for granted, and never take advantage of the things that we're able to do sometimes on a daily or weekly basis. Um, but I definitely think if I was not involved in athlete representation and sports memorabilia, that I would probably be in real estate. I have some real estate investments now and a few properties in my portfolio, and it's definitely something that I would like to grow and learn more about. But yeah, short version is if I wasn't a marketing agent or a memorabilia dealer, I think I'd be in the real estate space for sure. Great question.
Yeah. So we'll take one of our fans from Tyler from Georgia. He has a two-parter for you. He wants to know your favorite sports teams and also who do you have in the Super Bowl?
So this is going to be an interesting answer. So, and it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. So, I really don't watch that much sports
Oh
as
wow.
it is,
Hmm.
which comes to a surprise to a lot of people. So, understand this. So, my life is all consumed with sports essentially 24/7, right? Because I'm never necessarily off the clock, right? We do a lot of business in the UK. We have factories that create a lot of things for us in the Philippines.
Hmm.
Um, if an athlete calls, it doesn't matter what type of day it is. So, and owning your own company or companies, you're never really off the clock. You're always kind of solving problems and working new deals. Um, so if I do get a chance to kind of take a break from work, I don't want to consume more sports, right? So I don't play, and I've never played fantasy football. I really don't have like a crazy team that I'm just all into right now. Growing up, I was a diehard Chicago Bulls fan.
Yeah.
Obviously, collecting Michael Jordan, living in Chicago till I was 5. Obviously, it was easy to cheer on the Bulls in the late '90s, right? Because they're winning and doing multiple three-peats. So my whole life, I was all consumed with playing basketball, as much as I possibly could as a kid. All consumed with everything Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan. Um, and I was a mega fan of the '90s basketball game as a whole, and I
Mhm.
don't think that game is anything close to what it used to be. Um, Obviously, it's easy to cheer for, the Astros, right? Because they've had a successful like decade, right? So that's fun to watch being a Houston guy. The Texans are unbelievably exciting team to watch now, who just won a very exciting game over the Chargers last week and are, still in the playoffs with a big game coming up against Kansas City.
Yeah.
So Houston's home, so I'm obviously going to root for the home teams, but I don't, I don't have like a team that I am just all into. And I really don't consume that much of live sports just because when I'm done working, I want to spend time with my wife and kids and take a little mental break away from it. So that's a great question also.
Yeah, Dennis Robin must love that you're a Chicago Bulls fan.
He does. Yeah, crazy thing is he actually lives in Houston now.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
All right, we'll take one more fan question here. His name is Devin from New Jersey. Uh, he wants to know what would you say your one of the they want he wants to know your best venue you've been at in your career.
best venue.
Yeah, or a stadium or venue.
Um, so for a few years, Fiterman Sports was the official memorabilia company of the entire WWE.
Mhm.
So that was a huge accomplishment for us to be a corporate partner with the WWE. And I would say if someone has never been to a WrestleMania, it is an absolute
Yeah.
unbelievable event to witness in person. I mean, the fireworks, the lights, the pyrotech, I mean, just everything is just insane and exciting from start to finish. So if someone's never been to a WrestleMania event, I would say that that's one of the most exciting events that I've been to. I've been to three or four of them, and they're just unbelievable to witness in person. I've been to some Super Bowls. Obviously, that's excitement on a different level. Bucket list for me event is Kentucky Derby.
Mhm.
Uh, so I've never been to the Kentucky Derby, but obviously it's something my wife and I have always wanted to go to. So now I think we're just gonna gonna try to do it when our youngest gets a little bit older, so we can take them as well. I guess I didn't really answer the fans question because I don't have a certain venue, but I do think that my favorite sporting event thus far would be a WrestleMania event.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, so before we let you go, do you have some of your team members with you right now?
No, I'm upstairs in my office. So we have a 30,000 square foot facility here in Houston. I'm upstairs in my office, and everyone else is kind of cranking away in the offices outside here and downstairs in the warehouse. But if you ever have me on again, I would love to bring some of my teammates on to be guests on your show.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And thank you again. There you have it. Ryan Fitterman from Fitterman Sports. Go check out his page on all social media formats: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, everywhere. They do great stuff, great events. And like you said, like he said, fans in the Florida area, they're coming to Florida pretty soon. You get to meet Ric Flair, Mike Tyson, in the Florida area, the Palm Beach events. So please go check them out there. Go visit them. And like I said, Ryan, thank you, and thank you to your team for letting this happen. And keep up. We'll stay connected. Obviously, keep up the great work. And I would love to do. Can I get connected with you in person and help you out with your events if you're interested, and we can work together at some point. And if you're in the New Jersey area, New York area, Philly,
We're in New York quite a few times a year, so I'd love to pick your brain on how to make my podcast a little
yeah,
bit more successful.
yeah. Speaking of your podcast, let's talk about your podcast real quick. I forgot to mention when did you start that podcast? You said.
Sure. So I started the podcast, I would say mid 2024. We've probably only done like 10 episodes. I think we have another 10 that are recorded and ready to launch. I've had some unbelievable guests on. But again, it's just like you got to keep plugging away. And the big key is consistency, which is it's hard to do when we have the crazy travel schedule that we have. But for any of your listeners, it's Fitterman Sports on YouTube. Check us out. Hopefully, give us some feedback and follow us on Instagram as well. And thank you for the great opportunity today to be on your show and to visit with you and your fans on your platform. So thank
Thank
you for this great opportunity. I'd love to be back on anytime. And I'm in New Jersey. I'm in New York, New Jersey area a lot. So I'd love to shake your hand and meet with you in person. And we'd love to be back on the show anytime. Continue to success to you and your team. You're doing an outstanding job. And thank you very much for having me on today.
Yeah, thank you. And I love to do some events with you, Tyson, Ric Flair. I mean, I already met Ric Flair in person. He's awesome.
Yeah, you had Ric Flair at you interviewed him at the sports
Yeah,
Emmys, right?
yeah. So Ric Flair is the best, man. He's awesome, and his family is amazing. I didn't realize. By the way, his daughter was there too. Charlotte was there at that night, and it was crazy. A lot of people were there, and that was a great opportunity. And he's great. He's awesome.
Yeah, well, you keep up the good work. Let me know if I can ever help you in any way. And thank you for a great interview and having me on your show
Oh,
today.
thank you.
All the best in 2025.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Thank you.